Welcome to another edition of Stock Up and Stock Down. It's your favorite fantasy football game show. It's been a crazy week of fantasy football with free agents and trades, franchise tags, re-signings, everything. So we want to have a great game night edition of Stock Up and Stock Down. First, let me introduce the contestants. Mr. Joe Rosing from Chicago, Illinois, and his challenger, Adam Stark from Detroit, Michigan. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
I am feeling good.
Are we ready to do battle in stock up or stock down?
Let's do it, man. I'm feeling great, Stock up, stock down. Let's go.
Adam, you're losing.
The information will be, I will give you the free agent or re-signee or traded party. I will give you their result from the previous year, their new team in the next year, or if they're staying the same. And what I want to know is stock up or stock down in 30 seconds or less. Let's flip a coin for who's going first. Joa, call it in the air.
Heads.
Oh, heads it is. Welcome. Good job, Joa. You will go first tonight. Congratulations. Beginner's luck. Oh, okay, Adam, talk that junk. We'll be picking players out of a hat at random, so no one has a beat on who's coming next. Going into the hat, pulling out, rummaging. Oh, the first player talking tonight is Mr. Tom Brady. He was the quarterback number 12 last year. He scored 263.68 fantasy points, and he has joined the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Joa, 30 seconds starts now.
Well, this dude is old. In my opinion, his stock is down. I know he's got them brand new great receivers in Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. He's also got two nice tight ends in O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate. Unfortunately, though, Tom Brady does not have the deep ball he used to, and he does not have the arm strength he used to. He's a little bit slower in the pocket, and in my opinion, he's not going to be high-powered enough to come in full force in this Bruce Arians offense, meaning his stock is going to be down. Jameis Winston was a better fit. He should get a starting
time. Adam, ooh. Tom Brady, stock up or stock down?
I'm going stock up on this. I don't care if Tom Brady's old. I don't care if he can't throw the deep ball. He's not going to need to throw the deep ball. Every weapon he's going to utilize. O.J. Howard, Cameron Brate even, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Scotty Miller even. He's just going to use them all to their best potential. I think each one of them will be open at some point, and Brady's just going to make the best decision, find the best player each time. He also has over $9 million in incentives, and I think Brady wants to win now more than ever. So that drive to win, I think Brady's going to have a little extra fantasy drive.
Well done, gentlemen, on the first round. First round's always tough to get used to this clock. We're going to put – I forgot to mention, we'll put all these players stock up and stock down and let our fans vote on who they agree with. So going back, rummaging. Oh, it's another quarterback. Drew Brees re-signed with the New Orleans Saints. He was the quarterback 21 last year. He scored 224.76 fantasy points. Adam, stock up or stock down? Time starts now.
Hold on, I blanked out. Who'd you just say?
Drew Brees. The Breezes.
Okay. Another old quarterback, Drew Brees. He just got Emmanuel Sanders. We found that out yesterday. Great slot receiver. Sanders chose the Saints over the Cowboys and the Packers and even the 49ers on a potential return. I think that's because Saints want to use him. They want to put him in that number 2 role, which Traquan Smith, Ted Ginn Jr., they could not do it. Drew Brees, I think he's going to have another great season with Michael Thomas.
And time! What did you say? Stock up or down?
Stock up.
Stock up. Okay, got to keep it nice and concise. Joa, time starts now.
Another QB that is getting old. I know he has Michael Thomas, and he has a couple other great targets, and he has Alvin Kamara out the backfield. Unfortunately for Drew Brees, last season he didn't live up to his 2018 season, and in my opinion, it's going to be all downhill from here. We've seen quarterbacks go into their 40s and have success and win Super Bowls like Tom Brady. Brett Favre was another guy who almost did it, but unfortunately for Drew Brees, it seems as though it is his time to go. I think they like Taysom Hill, and I think that he might upstage Brees at some point this season.
Time!
They want to win Super Bowls there.
Well done, well done. Rummage again, pull out a name. Here goes another name. It's Alan Lazard. The Green Bay Packers re-signed Alan Lazard. He was wide receiver 68 last year, scoring 67.8 fantasy points. Joa, stock up or stock down?
I mean, I guess if I had to choose, I'd say stock up. I think that he's going back into a Packers offense that had success last season, and if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, he has a solid year. I think he emerged as the wide receiver number 2 on the Packers depth chart last year. MVS sort of lost favor from Aaron Rodgers, but I mean, like, other than Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones, stock up, I guess.
And time! Mr. Adam Stark, what do you think? Alan Lazard. Time starts now.
I guess stock up. I mean, it's a weird guy to talk about, but, Alan Lazard, the Lizard King, I guess, dubbed by the fantasy ballers. I think, stock up just because he was kind of the only guy they addressed for the offense for the Packers. They didn't bring back Jimmy Graham. They didn't go out and get a different tight end. They didn't sign Robbie Anderson yet, I guess. They didn't sign Emmanuel Sanders. So I guess Lazard is safe for now. He's kind of in that 2 slot for Aaron Rodgers, but Rodgers is getting old. So I think he's still in the same system. So stock up just a tad.
Time! Well done, well done. Don't ever say it's a weird guy to talk about, Adam. You lose points for that. Don't knock the hat. Just drawing names out of a hat. Nothing I can do about it. Next name, rummaging in the hat. Oh, Mr. Nick Foles, otherwise known as Big Dick Nick Foles, the Super Bowl champion. He was quarterback number 43 last year for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He scored a whopping 37.74 fantasy points, was traded to the Chicago Bears. Who started last? Oh,
I did.
Yeah. So Adam, stock up or stock down?
Well, Nick Foles did get Jimmy Graham, so that's not a good tight end. I wasn't going to go anything about Jimmy Graham. Nick Foles, I don't know. I don't think it's too much of an upgrade for Mitch Trubisky. I laughed so hard when I saw the Bears do this because I'm a Lions fan. I know Joe is loving this right now. I'm sure he loved the Nick Foles signing, but it went from bad to, like, mediocre. And so, I mean, Nick Foles did get him to a Super Bowl with the Eagles, and I think he could be a solid quarterback in the NFL, but I don't see any fantasy relevance.
And time!
Stock down.
Joa, time starts now.
All freaking year, I have been asking for another quarterback besides Mitch Trubisky. And the Bears go out and they get Nick Foles. Stock down. This is ridiculous. He has no, what? Nick Foles is getting old. He's got no business being a starting quarterback in the NFL. He'll start on the Bears if Mitch Trubisky doesn't. And if he wins the job, it's just a matter of time before he's replaced. Gosh, stock down.
Time! Hard to go stock down off only 37 fantasy points. We're going to go to Stephon Diggs. Oh, comes out of the hat next. Stephon Diggs traded with a massive trade to the Buffalo Bills. They gave away a king's ransom. Mr. Diggs was the wide receiver 18 last year. He scored 149.1 fantasy points. Mr. Joe Rosing, stock up or stock down for Stephon Diggs?
I think it's stock up. I think that he is fast. He's a burner. He's got the deep ball routes down, and I think that's going to mesh well with a certain guy who has a cannon for an arm out in Buffalo, Josh Allen. I think it's going to be at least a 7 or 8 touchdown season for Stephon Diggs, and I think he has 1,000, maybe 1,200 yards with it. I think that this is a great match, a great pairing. I don't know why any wide receiver would not want to be in Buffalo right now. The only other guy there, John Brown, that's it, right? That's it. And so stock up.
And time. Adam, what do you say, Stephon Diggs? Stock up or stock down?
I'm going to go stock down. And don't knock on Cole Beasley. He's a solid slot receiver at times. He's proven himself a couple times now and then. But I think Diggs, he had a good chemistry with Kirk Cousins. I know not last year. They kind of fell off of the same page, kind of it started to fall off, and Diggs wanted out. So that didn't end well. But if he stayed in Minnesota, I think he would have had more of a potential in Minnesota with Kirk Cousins than Josh Allen in Buffalo. I think Allen's just going to overthrow him all the time, and I think Allen's not as an accurate quarterback.
And time! Gotta get a little liberal with the clock there. I'm sorry, Adam. I gave you an extra second or two.
Oh,
let's go back to the drawing board. Back into the hat. Draw. Oh, it's DeAndre Hopkins. What a wild trade last week. DeAndre Hopkins shipped off for a bag of peanuts to the Arizona Cardinals. He was wide receiver 10 last year with 164.54 fantasy points. Adam Stark, stock up or stock down for Nuke Hopkins?
Is there any way to say, stock neutral? Because I really don't think there's no change. I think he's going to a solid scenario. I would actually say stock up a tiny bit just because head coaching. Cliff Kingsbury is much of a better head coach than Bill O'Brien. As we've seen, Bill O'Brien and DeAndre Hopkins seem to have not good chemistry and things blow up. And now Nuke's on the Cardinals with Kenyon Drake, Kyler Murray, and Cliff Kingsbury, and I think they're ready to rock and roll.
Joe Rosing, what do you say? DeAndre Hopkins, stock up or stock down?
I think this is stock down. I really do like Cliff Kingsbury as a play caller on the offense. I just don't trust Kyler Murray's arm enough. I think that DeAndre Hopkins he doesn't need a top tier quarterback. I think he makes the quarterbacks around him better. But I think Kyler Murray's in his second year. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like the best fit for. You know what? I changed my mind. Stock up. I think that. Yeah, stock up. I don't know why. I'm just like it flipped midway through. I think it's going to be stock up for me. I think that DeAndre Hopkins. That was weird.
Well done.
That was weird.
Let's go back to the hat. See who the next name is. Oh, wouldn't you know, it's David Johnson on the other end of that trade. David Johnson, running back 37 last year for the Arizona Cardinals, scored 105.5 fantasy points. Going to play with Deshaun Watson and that awesome offensive line. Wait, what? In the Houston Texans. So Joe Rosing, stock up or stock down for last year's running back 37?
Stock down. This dude is not very good anymore, and it's unfortunate. He's slowed down. He looks like he's carrying a 30-pound dumbbell every time he tries to run the football. It's like, David, what happened? You were so explosive in 2016. You got hurt a little bit, and now it's just at the point where he got traded in a weird trade. I don't know, man. Stock down.
Very good. Coming in under the clock. Well done. You're getting better at this game. Adam Stark, stock up or stock down for David Johnson?
I'm definitely going stock up on this one. I think he's just in a new home, new place. It's a new chance for him to get his career back going. He kind of fell off last year really, really hard. Once Kenyon Drake came to town, he was pretty much non-existent. But DJ is going to be the man in Houston. He's locked in as the number one guy. He's only got to compete with Duke Johnson. They don't have Carlos Hyde or Lamar Miller. They're free agents, unsigned. So stock up for DJ Johnson, David Johnson.
Well done. Both guys on opposite ends and both guys coming in under the clock. Well done. Our competitors are improving. Back to the hat. What's the name going to be out? It's Hayden Hurst. Tight end number 34 last year on the Ravens. Was traded or picked up by the Falcons? Traded to the Falcons. He was tight end number 34. He scored 46.9 fantasy points. Adam, does he have a better year in Atlanta this year? 30 seconds starts now.
I mean, he's got to. I know he was playing with Lamar Jackson, that awesome offense, but he was still sitting behind Mark Andrews. So now we're going to get to see what Hayden Hurst is made out of. We saw Austin Hooper go crazy last year. He's now the highest paid tight end in the NFL. I don't think Hayden Hurst is going to, be Austin Hooper level, but I think he's going to be an absolute top 10 tight end. Matt Ryan has shown he likes his tight ends, and Hayden Hurst is a solid tight end. So I think he's going to get the job done. Stock up for me.
Well done. Coming in, beating the clock. We love it here on Stock Up and Stock Down. Joe Rosing, stock up or stock down for Hayden Hurst?
I got stuck up. I think that he's got the I don't know. I always liked Hayden Hurst. I never thought he really got as much opportunity as he deserved in Baltimore, and I think a change of scenery will be good for him. And Matt Ryan does like to throw to his tight ends, especially in the red zone, and it seems like he's going to get that opportunity this year to succeed. I think he could have a top 10 tight end season, like Adam said.
Top 10 tight end season. You heard it here first on the Fantasy Football Brawl. We'll go back to the hat. Back to the hat. We'll see who the next player coming out is. Jordan Howard. It's the UAB superstar. The old former Bear, former Eagle, was signed as a free agent with the Miami Dolphins. Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. They run the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. Well, Jordan Howard, the running back, 38, 101 fantasy points last year. Will he be stock up or stock down this year, Joel Rosing?
I think that he's going to be stock up. I really like what the Dolphins are doing. I really think it's going to come together this year or maybe the next year. If they draft a quarterback early in this draft, they have 3 first-round picks. Unless they take a running back one of those first-round picks, I think Jordan Howard's going to get an opportunity to run the football for them this year. It will be interesting to see because now there's no more Tom Brady in the AFC East. So that division isn't open, but it's also not closed.
Well done. We're saying stock up from Joel Rosing. Adam Stark, what do you think about Mr. Jordan Howard?
I'm going to go stock down, but just a little bit. I think Jordan Howard still is a solid player, and I think he's going to have more of a role as running back and have more carries of a bell cow player than he did when he was with Philadelphia last year because he was competing with, obviously, Miles Sanders, and we even saw Boston Scott come to the running. But Jordan Howard's going to compete with Kalen Ballage and Myles Gaskin and Patrick Laird, and all those 3 of those guys got shots last year and did not prove themselves. Jordan Howard's going to be the man there and get a lot of touches, but the Dolphins will be in garbage time a lot.
Garbage time Dolphins. We're used to seeing that. Going back to the hat. Oh, it's Kenyon Drake. Traded away from the Dolphins to the Arizona Cardinals last year. He signed a transition tag with Arizona, meaning he could shop for a new deal. Arizona can always top the new deal and keep him there out in Arizona, on the desert. He was running back 17 last year with 214 fantasy points. So back with the Cardinals, Adam Stark, what stock do you give Kenyon Drake?
I'm going to give Kenyon Drake a stock up. This is a skyrocket. I love this landing spot for Drake. He performed very, very well once he got to Arizona, and this was crazy because it was a new team, new playbook, new coach, and he just took off. He took David Johnson's job right off the bat, and he never looked back. I think with DeAndre Hopkins coming to town now, the offense is going to be way more explosive. If they can just address that offensive line, I think Kenyon Drake is going to be a stud and even a top 5 running back for me. Stock up.
Wow, top 5 running back. You heard it here first on the Fantasy Football Brawl. Joel Rosing, stock up or stock down for Kenyon Drake?
Well, I'm not going to say top 5 running back, but wow, okay. I think that he's going to be having a great year. I think he's a bottom tier RB1, top tier RB2 this year, and that's saying a lot because we thought Kenyon Drake might be out the league a couple weeks ago, basically, it seems like. And I just think that Kenyon Drake, it's time for him to get the keys to the offense in the backfield. He's going to have a great year. David Johnson's not there. He's going to have a good one.
Kenyon Drake, there you go. Make sure you write that down for next football season. We'll go back to the hat and find the next name on Stock Up and Stock Down. Thank you for joining us on tonight's edition of Stock Up and Stock Down. It's going to be Nick Vanette, the tight end. He signed with the Denver Broncos. He was the tight end 55 last year, only scoring 33.6 fantasy points. What a bum. Joa, stock up or stock down for Nick Vanette?
I think that this is interesting. Tight end 55 in a terrible tight end year and signing with the Broncos, right? Or
Correct.
Going okay.
Going to the Broncos. Getting Drew Lock.
I think it's stock.
Opposite Noah Fant.
Stock neutral. I think that it just doesn't change much. I don't think that he's that much of an impact player, and I don't think that he's that much of an X factor that he will bring a new element to this offense. So,
Adam Stark, what's your take on Nick Vanette?
I'm gonna go stock down. Probably. I mean, I know it's hard from being tight end 55, but 57 or whatever. But I think he's going to the same team as Noah Fant, and Noah Fant kind of started to emerge at the end of the season. I think this is more of a play where he's going to be that backup tight end and kind of locked in as a veteran type guy, as if maybe he went to a different team with a different just tight end scenario, not a rookie tight end who's emerging. I think stock down for Nick Van Ette.
Nick Van Ette, stock down and stock neutral. Thank you for joining us on Stock Up and Stock Down. Before we keep going with the game, let's tell you about our great friends at Fanatics. Fanatics has it all. You're missing sports. You're needing to get some sports back into your life. Rock some cool gear during quarantine. Fanatics has you covered. Go to www.thebrawlnetwork.com/Fanatics to get all your sporting goods needs. Let's get back to the game with Mr. Nelson Aguilar is next out of the hat. Mr. Dropping Babies left and right. Nelson Aguilar is going out to Las Vegas. He was the wide receiver 76 last year. He scored 94 fantasy points, didn't break the 100-point barrier. Adam Stark, Nelson Aguilar, stock up or stock down?
I'm gonna go stock down just because I think the quarterback situation is much worse in Las Vegas than it was for Philadelphia. I think Carson Wentz is a better quarterback than Derek Carr, obviously, and also I think Aguilar had a better role or more of a role with the Eagles as their wide receivers are either injured or just not performing well. So I think stock down. He's also going to compete with Hunter Renfrow, and they signed Jason Witten as well. Target's gone. Stock down.
Stock down. Joe Rosing, what's your rebuttal? Stock up or stock down?
For me, it's stock down as well. I don't really trust him at all. I think that he has butterfingers. He can't catch anything. Carson Wentz was dropping dots. And guess what? Nelson Aguilar was, oh no, I missed the ball. Stock down. There's no quarterback there for sure. Guess Marcus Mariota, but Marcus Mariota got benched for Ryan Tannehill last year, so we'll talk about that a little later. Stock down.
Stock down for Nelson Aguilar. Two non-believers. I gotta say, I agree. What a bum. Hands like bricks. Let's go back into the hat. Back in the hat. And it's Emmanuel Sanders leaving the Bay Area, wanting to get out of that COVID-19 hotspot and going to New Orleans Saints. He was the wide receiver number 30 last year. He scored 190 fantasy points. Joel Rosing, Emmanuel Sanders, stock up or stock down?
Stock up. Even though I was stock down on Drew Brees, that doesn't change the function of this offense. I think that this offense knows how to use its players correctly, and I think that it will. I think Emmanuel Sanders is going to have a great year. I don't think that it'll be anywhere near wide receiver 1 territory, but he's going to be a solid wide receiver 2 and a very solid flex play. I think that he's going to have a great year. Expect almost 1,000 yards and maybe a couple touchdowns. We'll see how fast he is. I know he's getting up there in age, but stock up for me.
Well done, well done. Adam Stark, what do you think about Mr. Emmanuel Sanders?
Yeah, I think it's a stock up. He had a few teams interested in him, like I mentioned earlier. Ended up choosing the Saints. So I think Sean Payton told him, hey, we're definitely going to use you. You're going to be the guy number 2 behind Michael Thomas. When he's triple covered, you're going to be wide open. Breeze is going to feed that ball to you. Jared Cook's also 1,000,000 years old, so he could die at any point. You're going to be our number 2. So I think Sanders is going to be a stock up type guy. Drew Brees is still a solid, consistent guy. Sanders, stock up for me.
Stock up, double stock up. Buy on Emmanuel Sanders. Going back into the hat, let's find out who the next name is tonight. It's Todd Gurley. The Gurley man returns to Georgia to go back to playing for the Atlanta Falcons. He was the running back number 14 last year. He scored 219.4 fantasy points. So pretty good considering he's got age 40-year-old knees. Adam Stark, what do you think? Stock up or stock down for Todd Gurley playing in the Dome?
Ooh, this is interesting. I mean, he was in a pretty good situation with the Rams, so it's hard to say stock up, but I think stock up. And I think the Falcons wanted him. Obviously, they went out. They paid him a decent amount of money. Gurley he played ball for the Georgia Bulldogs in college, so I think that home ties, I think it's a little bit of hype going on. I think Gurley is going to have a little bit of a juice back. I think he's going to have a solid first 8 games, but fall off I'm going to say stock up just a tiny bit.
I think it's stock way up for me. I think that this is just wow. Todd Gurley, I did not expect him to get cut. I expected him to get traded, and the fact that the Rams couldn't find a trade partner is kind of insane. I think they cut him a little too early, and I think that he got what he deserved in the money wise, and I think he's going to have a great year with the Falcons. I think it's going to be an RB1, maybe top 7, top 8 year for Todd Gurley.
They should ask for Julio Jones, am I right?
Julio!
Yeah, I mean, if you're trading running backs for wide receivers like that.
I wonder if Todd Gurley knows the Dirty Bird dance. I'm sure he'll learn it very soon. Who's the next name, Mr. Magic Hat? Who's the next running back out of the group? It's Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon leaving the LA Chargers. He's going to the Denver Broncos. He was the running back 23 last year, even after a long holdout. He scored 180.8 fantasy points. Joe Rosing, stock up or stock down for Mr. Melvin Gordon?
I have stock down for Melvin Gordon. I think that he has to compete now with Phillip Lindsay and Royce Freeman, and I don't know that he can do that all season long. I know Phillip Lindsay's a smaller back and Royce Freeman is a little slow, but Melvin Gordon isn't a guy that the Broncos are going to have and just hand the ball off to left and right. He's a little injury prone, and I do think that that makes his stock go down. He was in a good situation with the Chargers. I know they just lost their quarterback and only have Tyrod Taylor now, but I think that there was better options for him available. I think that was just a bad fit.
Adam Stark, what do you think about Mr. Holdout, Melvin Gordon?
I'm going to go stock up a tiny bit. I think, the holdout was a silly thing for him to do. He lost a lot of money and then ended up, I guess, apparently signing with the team that offered him less money just so he could play the Chargers twice, which seemed really funny, ironic kind of. But I'm going to say stock up a little bit. I don't think he's going to compete with Phillip Lindsay. I think he's going to outright steal that job. I think he's going to have 225 carries plus. I think he's going to be a bell cow there. He's getting paid $8 million. That's the 4th highest running back in NFL. I think the coach likes him. Coach wanted a bell cow. He even made it apparent. Stock up.
Time. There you go. Stock up and stock down. We'll have to see who's right at the end of the year. Going back to the Magic Hat, the next name out is Eric Ebron. He was the tight end number 27 last year. He scored 86.5 fantasy points, and he signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So how is he going to compete with Vance McDonald or whatever situation is going to play out? Adam Stark, what do you think about Eric Ebron?
I think it's a stock up. I think the Steelers tried to get a guy a few years ago named Darius Green. Didn't work out at all. He was very injured, but he was a speedster tight end like Ebron is. They signed him to a 2-year, $16 million. I think Ebron, a new home. I think it's a team that wants him. Mike Tomlin showed interest in him since he was a Tar Heel back in his college days. I think they're going to use him, and I think Vance McDonald showed he couldn't get the job done himself last year. I'm going to go stock up for Ebron, even though I'm a Lions fan.
Eric Ebron, stock up. Joe Rosing, do you agree?
I am stock down. I think that Eric Ebron also suffers from a medical condition that Nelson Aguilar suffers from. And it is called Butterfinger syndrome. And, yeah, this dude cannot catch anything. Somehow he caught a ton of touchdown passes from Jacoby Brissett last year, but I don't know. In my opinion, this dude has hands like absolute bricks. Like he can't even open his fingers. It seems like he's like, I want to catch the ball in the red zone. No. Stock down.
Stock down for Eric Ebron from Mr. Rosing. Going back to the Magic Hat, let's find us a good one. Oh, it's Phillip Rivers. Phillip, which child are you getting rid of to comply with quarantine standards? Phillip Rivers is signed with the Indianapolis Colts. He was the quarterback number 18 last year. He scored 235.5 fantasy points. Joe Rosing, stock up or stock down for a new scene for Phillip Rivers?
Stock up. I think that it's a great fit for him. That O-line is nasty. It's just straight up one of the best in the league, and I think that's going to protect him. He's had O-line issues his entire career. He's had not enough time to throw the football his entire career, and he plays through it. He played through a torn ACL in a playoff game. He played through, like, broken legs, I think. This dude is insane. He's insanely tough, and I think that he's going to get it done. I think Phillip Rivers is going to have a nice season this year. I don't think that – we think we see him resurrect from being washed.
Adam Stark, do you agree on the stock up for Phillip Rivers?
Yeah, I'm gonna say stock up as well. I think Rivers, he's in a new home, new spot. I think, yeah, like you said, Joe, with that offensive line, they're gonna give him a lot of protection, a lot of time to throw that ball, make better decisions. And I think Rivers had an interception problem his last few years and was kind of notorious for that. I think having a little extra time will be able to make him have better decision making. And I also think he's gonna take more chances than Jacoby Brissett would, therefore leading to better plays and allowing T.Y. Hilton to make plays for him. Stock up.
There we go. T.Y. Hilton going to get a nice boost from a real quarterback this coming year. Back to the Magic Hat, back to the hat. It's Austin Hooper. Was the highest paid tight end in free agency. He joins the Cleveland Browns to play in Believe Land with Baker Mayfield. He was tight end number 6 last year in Atlanta. He scored 191.7 fantasy points. Adam Stark, stock up or stock down for Austin Hooper?
Stock down. I know Hooper got the bag. He's now the highest paid tight end in the NFL, but stock down for me. Baker Mayfield is coming off of a rough season. I know they got him some offensive line help in Jack Conklin, but I think it's going to be a stock down, especially with David Njoku and all those offensive weapons, OBJ, Kareem Hunt, Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb even. There's just not enough touchdowns, touches, attempts, whatever, for Austin Hooper to be productive. I think he still will be a top 12 player, tight end, but stock down.
Joa, stock up or stock down?
Stock down. Baker Mayfield is garbage. Terrible quarterback. I think he showed it last year. I think we got fooled his rookie year when he took the Browns 7-8-1. He's a terrible locker room presence. He fights with his receivers. I'm surprised OBJ is still on the team. I'm surprised Jarvis Landry's still on the team. I'm surprised they didn't leave together. I'm surprised Nick Chubb's still on the team. I'm surprised Njoku's still on the team. I'm surprised all of these offensive pieces are still on the team because they have to fight with Baker Mayfield, and they have a terrible coaching situation, and they just signed a new coach who's not even a good situation. This Browns team is trash. I'm going to keep going, Joe. I don't care. This is awful. Austin Hooper should have signed with the team like the Chicago Bears, and he would have given them a good situation with a
Bears got Jimmy Graham.
All right, go back to your – come on. Gotta adhere to the rules of the game here. Adhere to the rules of the game. Adhere. Too many cooks in the kitchen in Cleveland. Adhere to the rules of the game. Going back to the Magic Hat. We're
should have went to the Bears.
We're entering the fourth quarter here. So last little bit of time. I'm stock up and stock down. I hope you're having fun here tonight. It's going to be Randall Cobb is the next name out of the hat, leaving the Dallas Cowboys and staying in Texas to go to the Houston Texans. He was wide receiver number 44 last year, 154.9 fantasy points. Joe Rosing, stock up or stock down?
I think he was in a good situation in Dallas. I think it's going to be stock down for me. That Texans offensive line is non-existent. We don't even know what they're going to do in the draft yet. They're definitely going to be looking to draft a receiver, although they traded their first-round pick, which doesn't make any sense to me. They have no first-round picks. They have no second-round picks. What? I don't get it. The Texans are dumb. I don't know what's going on with them. Bill O'Brien is a terrible coach, terrible GM, and he just went to a bad situation right off the bat. Stock down.
Very nice, very nice. Adam Stark, stock up or stock down?
I mean, it's got to be stock up. There's no more DeAndre Hopkins in town. I think Deshaun Watson's just going to try to, throw it to whoever he can. And I think Will Fuller, it's just going to be a matter of days before he gets injured and out for the season or whatever. So he's made of glass. I think Randall Cobb, I think he's going to stay safe, be healthy the full season. He has been a pretty healthy guy most of his career. I think although Bill O'Brien's an idiot and they don't have any, draft picks or any type of really protection to help him out, I think Watson's going to find a way to help Cobb get his career back going. Stock up.
He's just one Will Fuller hamstring injury away from being the starting wide receiver. Going back to the hat, let's figure it out. Who's next up on the list? Oh, it's Greg Olsen. Another tight end, moving teams. Tight end number 13. Scored 123.7 fantasy points. He's going to Russell Wilson in the Seattle Seahawks. Adam Stark, stock up or stock down on Greg Olsen?
That's a stock up for me. I think Russell Wilson showed he loves the tight end last year. when Will Dissly balled out, and then he transitioned to Jacob Hollister, a guy that literally no one's ever heard of, and he's even listed as the fullback in Madden. So I'm convinced he was the fullback last year and then transitioned to tight end, or fullback is another one of his positions. Regardless, Russell Wilson makes irrelevant tight ends become relevant. So if Greg Olsen gets that starter job, if Will Dissly has that Achilles problem still flaring up or gets another injury, I think Greg Olsen's going to be great. I think he's still going to have a role. Stock up.
All right. Well, very good. I'm sorry. Bad on the clock by the announcer. Bad on the clock. Joa, what do you think about the XFL broadcaster?
Stock down. Unfortunately, this dude has no type of health. What is he doing still playing? He's got a bright future ahead of him in broadcasting. You saw what Tony Romo did. This dude could do the same thing. He's got the talent to be a good broadcaster. What is he doing? Get out the NFL, man. Spend some time with your kids. Do some announcing. Man, please, stock down. This dude is old. He might catch one pass, maybe a touchdown. I don't know.
Yeah, he's one broken foot away from being crippled for life. We'll see. Going back to the hat and figuring it out, it's another quarterback. Marcus Mariota joins the Las Vegas Raiders. He's going to be competing with Derek Carr. He was the quarterback number 34 last year in limited action. Scored 85.02 fantasy points. Joe Rosing, stock up or stock down on Marcus Mariota?
I mean, it can only be stock up, right? Like, he got benched, so now he has to fight for the job in Oakland. So I think that it means that he's going to have to get that job. He's going to have to earn the job. And if he doesn't earn the job, then it's stock down. But if he earns a job, it's going to be stock up because he's going to get playing time. And nothing is worse than not having any playing time and getting benched. So Marcus Mariota, you have to earn that spot. And I think that they might try to trade Derek Carr. And if they traded him to the Bears, I'd be a little bit happy. But that's it. Stock down. Or stock up, excuse me.
Adam Stark, what do you think about the flying Hawaiian Marcus Mariota?
I'm going to go stock down. I think if he couldn't get it done with Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, a solid offensive line in Tennessee, in which Ryan Tannehill, a guy who flopped in Miami, then went to Tennessee and thrived. I think if Mariota couldn't get it done there, he's got, Josh Jacobs, Hunter Renfrow, Jason Witten now, Darren Waller, Tyrell Williams. Those are just kind of mediocre guys. I guess Darren Waller is slowly emerging, but I just don't see it. I think I'm not even sure he'll be able to beat out Derek Carr, and Derek Carr is not good. Stock down.
Stock down for the flying Hawaiian, the Heisman Trophy winner. Well, going back to the hat, going back to who's it going to be? Oh, it's another old tight end, Jason Witten, going back to the Raiders. He signed to the Raiders after spending his whole career with the Dallas Cowboys, leaving the announcing booth. There must be something about that announcing booth that tight ends don't like. He was tight end number 11 last year. He scored 139.9 fantasy points. Tight end 11 for that old man? Adam Stark, stock up or stock down on the Raiders?
I mean, it's got to be stock down. He's going to be, I guess he accepted the number 2 job. It was very, very weird for him to go to the Raiders. Darren Waller, like I just mentioned, he's emerged. He's still 27 years old. It's a little bit older for a tight end, but, he's not 50 years old like Jason Witten. So Waller still has that job. Waller was extended during the season. Gruden showed he liked him, but I don't know. Jason Witten was a weird ad for the Raiders. Stock down for me.
He must just be a Gruden grinder. Joe, what do you think? Stock up or stock down for Jason Witten?
I'm not even going to say anything. This is stock down, bro. Wait, we can let the time play out. Can we play the Jeopardy music here, please? Ready? Go.
Oh, time. There we go. We got to go back to the hat and save the show. The next quarterback is going to be Ryan Tannehill. He re-signed. He's got a monster deal to stay with the Tennessee Titans. What in the world are the Titans doing? He was quarterback number 22 last year, scoring 224.18 fantasy points. Joe Rosing, are you going to say anything on this guy? Stock up or stock down?
I will. I think that this was a weird deal for them to make, but if that helps them win, then it's fine with me. Stock up for Ryan Tannehill if they can get Derrick Henry back on their team, and if they can get this offensive line to stay healthy, and if they can get these wide receivers to have communication with Ryan Tannehill and make sure that everything goes well. I think their defense is good enough, and I think that they'll have a nice shot at winning that AFC South. Tighten up, baby.
Tighten up. Stock up. Adam Stark, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go stock up. Like I mentioned a few minutes ago, Tannehill thrived once he stepped into that job. He really had made connections with A.J. Brown. Also helped out Derrick Henry, made him a little bit better. He stepped it up. He also earned a big-ass contract, 4 years, $118 million. That's a lot of money. I think they have really put all their faith and all their marbles into Ryan Tannehill. I think the Titans will be solid, especially with, the Texans imploding, I guess.
There we go. Double stock up for Ryan Tannehill. Bye. Oh, man, I'm looking into the hat. There's only 3 slips of paper left, gentlemen. Strong push to the finish. The next piece of paper is Teddy Bridgewater, quarterback number 33 last year for the New Orleans Saints, filling in for an injured Drew Brees. He scored 90.46 fantasy football points, and he's joining on a big deal, big deal. The Carolina Panthers, his old offensive coordinator, Joe Brady. Adam Stark, stock up or stock down for Teddy Bridgewater?
I think this is a stock up. He was just the backup. I mean, it's got to be a stock up, right? He was backup in Saints, New Orleans, and now he's getting that starting job where he kind of just came out of nowhere. We saw Tom Brady rumors going on, and then all of a sudden it was Cam Newton isn't going to be the quarterback. Matt Rule wants him out. So then shortly after that, we saw the Teddy Bridgewater 3-year, $60 million signing. They want him. I think they want him to be the QB, to be the guy. I think this is going to be a stock up for Teddy Bridgewater. He also has solid options, one in Christian McCaffrey, also DJ Moore, and Curtis Samuel's not too bad.
There you go. Teddy B, Joe Rosing. Get it up. Get it. Stock up or stock down.
Man, I'm just sad right now because Teddy Bridgewater is replacing my man Kyle Allen as starting quarterback for the frickin' Carolina. The truth. All last season I was on Kyle Allen's hype train, and that dude really failed me, but it's all good. I like Teddy B. I think he's going to be good, and I think that he's going to have a good year. I think that it's stock up for him. I think that the Bears should have signed him instead of going out and trading for Nick Foles. But it's whatever, dude. I'm not the GM, even though I should be.
There you have it. NFL GMs, if you're looking, NFL owners, hire Joe Rosing. Well, so we got one more name. Oh, we got 2 more names, 2 more slips of paper. Amari Cooper signed a massive 5-year, $100 million deal. He could have gone to the Washington Redskins for more, but he said, no, I don't want to play for no racist team. I'm playing back for the Cowboys. Wide receiver 10 last year with Dak Prescott. Scored 246.5 fantasy points. Amari Cooper, Mr. Roll Tide, Joel Rosing, stock up or stock down?
I mean, you are right about the racist team type of thing, though. It's funny. And, yeah, it's stock up. I mean, there's nothing else to say. He got a big deal. I think he could have gotten a little bit more, but I guess he got what he wanted from the Cowboys, and I think that as long as Dak Prescott is there and his connection with Amari Cooper stays solid and Amari Cooper stays healthy, stock up for me. I think Amari Cooper is going to continue to get better. I think he's an amazing route runner already. Stock up.
Adam Stark, I heard you coughed. You don't have corona, do you?
No, I don't.
Very good, very good. Back to the game. Amari Cooper, stock up or stock down?
I'm going to go stock up. He's in the same system he was last year. I think the Cowboys showed they really want him back. They paid up for him, too. They gave him a nice contract. They paid him essentially before they paid Dak, so I think that was a little something said. They also have I know Randall Cobb left town, so that means it's just going to be him and Michael Gallup running the show. Obviously, Cooper is much further ahead than Gallup, so he's going to be that one. I think this is a stock up for Amari Cooper. He still is. He's going to be with Dak for the next few years.
Amari Cooper making that cheddar, got that bag. The last name on the list. Oh, I'm very sad. The game is coming to a close. It's Jimmy Graham, old University of Miami basketball player, found himself on several teams by now. Saints, Seahawks, Packers, And now he's joining the Chicago Bears. He was the tight end 21 last year. He scored right at 100.7 fantasy points. Barely hit the century mark. Adam Stark, stock up or stock down for Jimmy Graham?
I'm going to go stock up. The Bears, they paid him a good chunk of money, $8 million over 2 years. I think that showed they want him. He's still he's old. There was a lot of good tight ends out there, but the Bears clearly chose Jimmy Graham. They showed they wanted Graham over guys like Austin Hooper, Eric Ebron, even like Blake Jarwood. These are guys that Greg Olsen, perhaps. I know he's another old guy, but I think Jimmy Graham's going to get the job done despite playing with a mediocre quarterback in Nick Foles.
Joel Rosing, talk about your team signing Jimmy Graham.
What the heck? Why did they do this? This was the dumbest move ever. It makes no sense. I don't understand. This man is old. He can barely run. I bet he runs 5'8" in a 40-yard dash. I bet he couldn't even complete the combine drill. This dude probably wouldn't even get through the combine drill. This dude is trash. What the heck are the Bears doing? This is garbage. Garbage, absolute garbage. It makes no sense to me. I really just don't understand what Ryan Pace is thinking. One, he goes out and trades for Nick Foles. What? One, he goes out and trades for
Time!
No! What the heck?
Every good game show has a good twist. We're out of names, but that doesn't mean we're out of twists. We're going to give each of our contestants 90 seconds on the clock to talk about the last week of fantasy football, to talk about the last week of trades, acquisitions, cuts, every transaction you can think of. Adam Stark, your 90 seconds to say whatever the heck you want to say to the fans starts now.
All right, I'm going to focus on the big ones. Tom Brady, DeAndre Hopkins, and Kenny Drake. I think Tom Brady first. He's playing with the Bucs now. He's got Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. I think this is a bump up for him. He's playing with probably the best weapons he's ever had of his career, and that's not an exaggeration. I know he's played with Gronk and Randy Moss, but Randy Moss was 1 year, and Gronk that was it. So I think besides the 2013, 2012 year when they went 0-7, 17-0, I'm fumbling all the words, but I think Brady, he's going to thrive with Mike Evans and Godwin, O.J. Howard as well. Next up, we have DeAndre Hopkins. He's going to the Arizona Cardinals. I think he's going to take it a step up. He's in a solid division. He's going to play with Kyler Murray and new head coach Cliff Kingsbury. I think Kingsbury is going to tap into DeAndre Hopkins in a way that Bill O'Brien could not do. So I think DeAndre Hopkins is going to not just bump up himself, but Kenyon Drake, the next guy I will want to talk about. He just signed that tender transition tag with the Cardinals. He's back with the Cardinals. Kingsbury went out, traded for him. I might have been Steve Keim that traded for him, the GM, the Cardinals. But regardless, they wanted Drake. He thrived in that starter role when he came in, and he's been the bell cow. I think he's going to remain the bell cow. I think Kenyon Drake, like I said, bold prediction, top 5 running back for me.
Time. Well done. Coming right in under the clock. Oh, like your style. Joel Rosing, 90 seconds on the clock starts now. Whatever you want to say to the fans, let them know.
Why did you do this, Ryan Pace? You suck. You're a terrible GM. You don't deserve a job. You are trash. You traded for Nick Foles. You signed Jimmy Graham. You didn't address the defense. Fantasy football doesn't matter when your favorite team sucks. We had a championship-level defense, and we can't even make the playoffs in back-to-back years when we have the best defensive player in the league. What the heck is going on with this? I don't understand what the actual heck. Okay, sorry. No, I'm not done yet, psych. What is going on? Why is the coronavirus ruining all sports? Last week was depresso mode too. I don't understand what's going on. All right, that's it for me. Okay, I got a little bit more to talk about. Some serious stuff. Other than Ryan Pace and my feelings towards him. Tom Brady, that was an interesting move. I did not expect him to leave the Patriots as soon as this week started. I thought that was going to be a place that he went back to. I thought that they were going to address his needs and bring in some weapons, but they didn't, and they lost him. And he's going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it's going to be interesting to see what he does there because I don't know. It seems like if he has the arm strength that he used to, that team's going to have a good year. And I think that the Bucks could win that AFC South.
I don't know if we lost him. Bastard.
Joe, you here?
I think I might have had a connection glitch right there, right at the very end of your rant, right as I was counting you down, like the last 5 seconds.
Well, that's fine. It doesn't matter.
All right, so we're all right. Good. We're back alive. I'm sorry. I was like, what the heck happened? Oh gosh.
Joe's like headlights.
Let's get back to the announcer voice. Back to the game. Stock up and stock down. Well, what a great night. What a great event of stock up and stock down. Adam Stark, Joel Rosen, great competitors. We're going to put these polls on Twitter. We'll let you decide stock up or stock down. We'll give points based on who wins. Basically, if you pick a player stock up and Adam Stark said he was stock up, that's a point for him. If you pick a player stock down and Joel Rosen says stock down, that's a point for him. And we'll even let you grade the rants. Stock up and stock down. The rants will be worth maybe 3 points, a little extra bonus for the bonus rants. Follow our competitors on the Twitter. Joel Rosing is at 72TuveBro, and Adam Stark is at EverydayFFB, and I, unfortunately, am at Joe Gaither number 6. All of us together are at Brawl Fantasy, BRAWLFANTASY, for Stock Up and Stock Down. I'm Joe Gaither. Thanks for playing.
Yeah, and just so you know, you guys can bet on this because there is no DraftKings. There's no more DraftKings because there's no more sports. And you can bet on the outcomes of this. Just Venmo at Joe Rosing72. That is JOROSING 72 if you want to bet on this week's outcome. That is not a sponsor.